Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. How you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling good, feeling great. How are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I feel like it's been a long time
Mhm.
since we've done this.
Yep.
I got a lot to tell you.
Yeah, a lot.
I don't know if you do too. What's new
I
with you?
mean, nothing much really. I mean, as far as what happened literally this past weekend with the fight, I mean, there was that.
True, true.
Everything seemed other than that pretty chill. Nothing really too crazy. What's been going on with you?
Um, Not much. Say no.
I got so much to tell you. Nah, never mind.
Yeah, the fight was cool. I watched it. I just stayed in and like pulled that up and like
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, like anything, the hype was way more than what
definitely.
what it actually ended up being.
I mean, a lot of
Which
that goes with just like whether or not the last fight is really like worth waiting all the previous fights to
yeah,
get to it, you know?
I mean, the fight before that was more entertaining than because the bull
Exactly.
got fucking rocked.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly what I mean. You got put to
yeah,
sleep.
and there was a knockout in the main event too, but it was just like it wasn't as competitive as I thought it was gonna be. They were both like very. At some points it picked up, but they were for a lot of the time they were like feeling each other out and kind of scared to get
I
caught.
was about to say that I think it was more just scared because they both knew that they were really good. I
And they
mean,
were
like
both undefeated as well. So it's like
exactly.
you don't want to make a stupid mistake, which Ryan made too,
Yeah.
basically. Because he was catching them at one point, but then he was like, "Oh, like I'm getting them, so I'm gonna just keep going." And then he
Yeah, I
got caught
think I think Ryan definitely just overreached a little bit too far and got a little too confident.
and leaves
And
himself open.
yeah, he definitely because I felt like at least for whatchamacallit, what's his name? Wow, I'm drawing a blank.
Javante Davis.
Javante, yeah. He I felt like he knew, at least from what like he was like explaining after he won, just more of like he understood that he was smaller. You know, he
Yeah,
understood his weakness and tried to put it to his advantage. Where I felt like Ryan knew he was taller, but that was it. Like he
he
was
didn't.
just
He didn't take advantage of that really. Like he didn't
exactly.
impose himself
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
because like yeah, like that's very like that was the only thing that Javante really had to worry about is the fact that there was a clear size difference. Like he's listed as 5'5". I don't know how true that is. He looks very small
Yeah.
and like reach and all that other stuff. So like and Ryan Garcia was basically 6 foot. He's 5'11", but he like because he looked so skinny, bro. Like you could
Yeah. I
tell
was
he
about to
cut like
say.
crazy. But yeah, I mean, Gervonta still had power. It's not like he didn't let it stop him, and he took punches, and
Yeah.
it looked like he got caught a couple times, which happens in his other fights too, where you'll think like, oh, like this guy's doing well, and then Gervonta just knocks him out. So yeah, cool fight. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. Um,
I didn't either when I
yeah,
watched it.
so yeah, that was cool. I mean, people were like, "Oh, fight of the year." I'm like, I was hyped up to be. But anybody who really watches boxing or like watches them, because each of them consistently knew that like Tank or Javante Davis was supposed to win. So it panned out how everybody thought it will. But I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks, so I'm gonna just give you a rundown. Um, I went to Yankee Stadium for the first time. I had
Oh
tried to
yeah,
get you to
yeah,
come
yeah,
with me,
yeah.
but we couldn't, unfortunately. So I went down there. It was a dope ass time. So as a Philadelphian, I'm gonna put my opinions out there of the Philly Stadium versus the Yankee Stadium. The funniest thing to me about the Yankee Stadium, and honestly, like personally, like I've said before, like I love being in New York. It's a good
So
time.
before we get into this, so you went to that stadium to watch the game. So were you like, what was the game that was playing?
It was the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins
Okay, never mind.
baseball.
I was gonna say like, were you there as like a Philly fan and basically like
Oh no no no
Warriors
no
stuff?
no!
Because I was like, how'd that
I
go?
just pulled up in regular clothes. I got a hat, but that was it.
Okay,
Yeah yeah. I was just like, yeah, it was whatever.
wanted to cover.
Yeah, cause yeah, like I feel like there's some teams where I won't buy a hat of theirs or like a piece of clothing of theirs. Like I'd rather like if I put a Cowboys hat on me, I feel like my skin would burn. But but like
I feel that too.
The Yankees aren't like a direct really like rival of ours. Like I was like, yeah, whatever. Like and it's for me it's like just clothes sometimes, like depending on the team. So yeah, I went there, cool time. But what I want to say about the stadium itself is like obviously like I don't know, I haven't this is my first time being in a stadium in a different city. I've only ever gone to like the Philadelphia team like venues for sports at least. And I was there and it was funny because I was waiting in line, it was mad packed and like the Yankee Stadium is literally as if because Philly has the stadium complex, the sports complex where it's like I feel like we're one of the, I don't know if any other cities have this. That's the point I was trying to make. Is that we have the Phillies, the Flyers and Sixers, and the Eagles literally like in walking distance of each other.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium is dead up in the Bronx, like just in the middle of the Bronx. And when I was there waiting in line, because the stadium's huge and like we weren't getting in time, even though we got there on like with enough time, the lines were insane. Yankee Stadium is the same as if you were to take the Philly Stadium and put it in the center of Hunting Park. Dead, like exact. Like I was standing there, I was like, I feel like I'm home. So because it's just people like fucking playing reggaeton or like dembow on the speakers. It's like dunk, 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 dunk. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just wait in line like this. There was fucking Dominican and like Puerto Rican guys with little carts of water ice and shit, pushing ice cream and selling shit. And
That sounds
yeah,
about right.
it's just a bunch of people that look like me walking around. I'm like, like, hey, you my cousin?
Hey.
I feel like I know you from somewhere.
Right.
You look familiar. But yeah, so it was cool. And even then I still felt safer there than I do in Philly. But yeah, so that was cool. Went inside. Food selection, I will say, compared to Philly Stadium, Yankee Stadium's food sucks. They have like their basic hot dogs and like chicken tenders and fries that you don't really see in any like venue. And then the only other options really outside of that were it was like crab fries, which was like a small little stand, and then Benihana's.
So I was gonna say, I'm like, do they have Chickies and Pete's?
They did, but it was like one stand from it. And I did a lap around. So it's not like I only went where I walked in from and stayed there. Like I did a lap around the stadium. But yeah, they had a Benihana's, which is basically like hibachi food. And I'm like, I don't want that during a baseball game. Like
both stars like, open your mouth.
Yeah, like
I'm like, bro,
you want egg roll?
I'm like, no.
Not
bro.
right now. I gotta get to my seat.
I just want to watch the game.
Yeah.
Bro.
But yeah, I don't want Benihana's or nothing. And the Philly Stadium, you think about it, it's like they got Chickies and Pete's, they got fucking Shake Shack, they got fucking Mango Pizza now from down the shore.
They got everything.
Yeah, like it was like a way better selection. So I'm just like, why do y'all not have better stuff? But that stadium's also been around for a while. I think ours has too as well since like the early 2000s because that's when they shut down. I'm not sure. I don't remember when they built the Philly Stadium. I know they shut down. They just built the Eagle Stadium like 20 some years ago. But yeah, cool time. Yankees won. Got to see good game. The other team's coach got kicked out because one of the pitchers in the Yankees got caught with like something on his hand. And they told him to take it off, and then like he didn't take it off. And then they told him to take it off, and he took it off. And then the ref was like, "You still gonna leave him in? Like you're drawn right now."
Right.
But yeah, so that was cool. I just went to the game and then like left because it was about to start raining that day. That was the day where it was like raining mad heavy. But this was like 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if you remember.
Trying to, maybe I think
it was one of the days where the rain was just out of pocket. We just had another day like that, like 2 days ago. But and then before that, even better, which I should have started with this story. So I went out. That game was on a Saturday. I went out the Friday night before, and I went to club Lil Unsi Unsi. Okay, went to Lil Unsi Unsi. Cool time. Had a good time. You know, got some drinks, a little dancing. Did what I do what I do. Left, right. I left. Got my car. Went home. I was driving home. It was probably like 12, 1 at night. Chilling, driving home, and then there's like a fucking 18-wheeler truck in front of me, right? Tire fucking blows off the 18-wheeler and just sprints at my car. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So I had a Final Destination moment. Or is that what the movie's called?
Yes.
And like literally on my way home from a night out where I was just like, oh, that was a good night. You know what I mean? I'm just driving this pitch black out. It's just, and then you just see they're just coming at my car, and there's cars near me, so I can't fucking like do no crazy shit. I don't want to cause a bigger accident, so I just had to bite the bullet and take this tire head on. Now, luckily, it like went to the side, so I just drove over it, so it didn't cause as much damage. But my fucking bumper and like the underneath of my car was fucked, and I had to drive to New York the next day. So I was tight. I was like outside my house at like 2 a.m, just looking under my car, like, come on, bro, like, please be no leaks, be no bullshit like that. I gotta drive this car in the morning. Luckily, there was no leaks or nothing. But yeah.
Wow, you can't say that stuff. I'm over here, like, even though you're here in front of me, I'm picturing you not here, and I'm like, oh my God, like the fact that happened to you, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that wasn't just it, but
well, I'm happy you're alive and you're here with me.
So am I, buddy. So am I, because this past week for me and my car have been a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I got into another like little accident too after that. So it was just like, cool. It just doesn't stop. Just keep it pouring. Jeez. But I'm here though. I got a little scared. I'm like, yo, whoever got they voodoo doll me, can they put it down for a second, please? Yeah, like.
Yeah, that's wild, honestly. I can't even imagine how that would be, just hearing that and then just seeing it. Because I mean, you said it was at night too, so
Yeah, like bro, when I had my headlights on, obviously, but when I saw it, it might as well have been where that camera is. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
yeah.
Like if I would have done anything drastic, I would have went into the fucking woods and shit.
So like, what happened though? Like, did you like stop to the side and like?
No, I was just so in shock. Like, and what am I gonna tell? Like, what am I gonna tell this guy? Like,
I'm tripping, bro. Give me your shit, bro. Whatever company you're working for, about to give me a whole stack, girl. Because this shit's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I would have went up to him or something. There's no
Yeah.
way your tire hitting my car, and you're not going to do anything about it. But
I was just, it was too late, and I didn't. To be honest, in my mind, because when I got out the car, like the damage itself wasn't really like visible. Like I'm surprised, like everything was still intact, minus like there's like a tray underneath like all cars where it just avoids water getting onto your stuff. That was the only thing that was really messed up, and I was able to in the morning like fix that up. Like I just put it back in place. So when I was driving home, I'm like, oh, like I like hit it, but I don't think it did anything to me. So I just kind of kept going, and I was also just in shock of what I just saw. So I was like, I'm not pulling over right now. And then when I get home, I just see that shit all poured out, and then I'm like, damn, like, 'cause my parents, you know how my house has like a driveway. I was like, let me not, in case there is a leak, like I'm about to go inside and go to sleep. Like I'm about to shower and go to bed. Like I'm already, this just fucked up my night. Like I'm cool off today. I must retry tomorrow. But I was like, in case there is a leak, I don't want to just all this oil or shit just pouring on our driveway. So I was like, I'll leave the car in the street. But then I'm driving it out, and I didn't realize because I had music on, and my car was just like
the whole time.
the tray thing was just scraping. So and it's dead silent on my block, so you just hear and all this. I'm like, oh my god, bro, this is like this sucks. I don't need nobody coming out being like, what's going on?
That's wild.
But yeah, I had 2 scares in like a matter of like 4 days.
Wow. Thing about stuff like that is that you can either have a really bad accident or something like that kind of happen where it kind of spooked you out or freaked you out. And I promise you, that's going to stick with you for like the next 2 months. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to be driving the same. For
Bro,
the
I'm
next
so
2
paranoid.
months.
Like even now, like I'm not like obviously I was picked you up in somebody else's car, so I was borrowing, and it's just like, please not, like just not in this car.
Yeah.
Like just wait till I get back into my car at least, because I don't need this happening again and again. But
Yeah, that stuff happens.
stressful, bro. And then yeah, that was the worst of it. But I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm healthy. Car's gonna be all right. It's not nothing permanent. It's just a matter of just getting it fixed up. Yeah, and then I went to that game. That was cool. Food was all right. Oh, that was another thing. When I was at the stadium, I don't know if you ever seen it before online, but like they sell you like, you know, they have souvenir cups at stadiums. So they sell a souvenir cup, and then they have a lid that's meant to hold food. You put the straw through it, and then you have like your fries. So I got this cup. It was like a cup. It looks all Yankee Stadium, the Bronx, and the lid is like a little bowl that had chicken tenders and fries, and then you stick your straw in the middle. And I was eating that, and I was living. I'm like, these tenders kind of dry, but this looks cool, and it feels cool. But then I'm there at the game, and the person that I'm with, we're like, yo, let's just take a lap or something, because it was cold as shit. It was like windy. It was supposed to rain that day. And we were just kind of sitting there, and it was like, yo, we're freezing. Like maybe we just walk around, look at the stadium, see what else food they got.
Okay.
So I leave my cup under the seat, do the lap around the stadium. Cup is gone. I'm so sick, bro. And they took both our cups. I'm like, it was either somebody near or like a janitor person like took it. But I'm like, yo, there's still other food here. I'm like, who's stealing other people's cups, bro?
I'm saying, I'm like,
You gonna eat out of that?
You really got to be down bad.
Yeah, like
to steal something like that. Something they mass produce so many of. You really went and paid tickets to get into this game and decided, bro, I'm not going to spend any more money while I'm here. I'm going to take somebody else's souvenir cup that somebody spent money on to enjoy while they're here, but I don't want to do it, so I'm going to take their shit. That's just so weird.
I thought it was safe. I'm like, yo, it's under my seat. Like, nobody can see it. It's not anybody's way.
Yeah.
It's mine. Who's going to eat out of my cup?
So somebody really went out of their way to look under
yeah.
deep into
or they
the
was
light.
watching me.
True.
Yeah.
They're just like...
So, and somebody was in our seats when we got there.
Yeah, it was them. That's what it was. They were like, oh, they made me move.
I'm like, I get there and we're like, because you know, you could see like the odds, like, oh, like section, whatever. So I got there and I'm like, oh, the section's like full. But I'm like, this is our row. Like I'm looking at it, like this is where we're supposed to be at.
Gotta get up, buddy.
And then we're like, oh, like maybe it's those 2 empty ones. I'm like, that's not ours. I don't want to sit there. And then somebody comes to us saying the same shit. So I'm like, excuse, like I didn't even get my sense out. I was like, excuse, oh, this you right here? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's me right here. Like, what are you doing in my seat? Like, that's like obviously
You knew it was my seat.
you bought a ticket here.
You're
sit,
in here.
Yeah, like just sit where you meant to be at, bro.
I
Like,
don't care how ass your ticket is. It's not my fault.
and it's not like it was like the 5th inning. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like, oh, like maybe they left, or like it's the 5th inning. Like nobody's sitting there at this point if it's empty. It was the first inning, bro. Game, they didn't even throw out the first pitch, and you in my seat, bro.
You was trying it. You was trying it.
You just hoping I wasn't gonna pull up. Like, come on now. And you see me like looking. People, man. On another note, though, or are you about to say something?
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, we just had fucking weekend 2 of Coachella, and people have been talking nonstop about this whole Coachella nonsense.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Coachella, Mark, from the man himself.
Well, I didn't get so much into it, but I do remember seeing that Frank decided to not show. You know, what was it? The next weekend? Is that how they do it? Right? It's the weekend based, I guess.
Yeah. So now it's 2 weekends. I'm pretty sure it always used to be 1, but I guess it got so big to the point where, and the demand got so high where they just want to capitalize on that. And you know,
it's so weird to do something like a whole extra weekend after. Like,
yeah, like it's not like they didn't extend it, made it 4 days.
Yeah,
they just like, oh,
so
weekend 1 and
weird.
weekend 2. Like, so people that buy both passes, I guess, have to stay there for like a full
that's
week.
what I'm saying. Like,
unless they're sold separately, because you think about like Made in America, it's a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, I think this year is like September 3rd or September 2nd, September 3rd or something like that. And yeah, it's like right after another. But like, oh, it's April 19th and 20th and then April 27th and 28th. Like, what the? It's
so weird.
In the middle of the desert. But yeah, so the first weekend, you know, they had their usual performances. Supposedly there was a lot of like stage technical difficulties and shit, which pissed a lot of people off. But then with Frank, his first night or his first weekend performance, which was Sunday, I believe, like supposed to be at 7. But that day of, he supposedly had like this is all rumor. I don't know how much of this is true, but he had like a skating rink that was supposed to be a part of the performance. And the day of, he was just like, nah, I don't want it. So they had to basically rearrange his whole stage like that day, which ended up causing his set to be an hour late. And then he came out an hour late and did his set, but he played like all his old music and like his old songs and just did like techno remixes of it. It wasn't even the original, so it just sounded mad weird. And then there was some parts where he was just, the music was playing and he was just like, just doing a lot of that.
Like, bro, we're not in your room right now, man.
Yeah.
You're performing.
And some songs he actually sang through, and then he talked about, he was like, oh, I forgot what it was exactly. But he said, he was like, oh, I'm not performing new music tonight, but there is a new album on the way, is what he said. Which, cool, awesome. Glad to hear from your mouth that something's coming.
Yeah.
Instead of like these weird online posts that
There's
were like
these theories that he's gonna be dropping it, guys.
Yeah, because somebody, even leading up to the first weekend of Coachella, somebody was like that he rented or like borrowed the same BMW from like his first mixtape or whatever, Nostalgia Ultra. That he was like filming a music video or something with that same car, and like there was like some stuff going on, like the weekend of Coachella, that was all gonna happen. So people are like, oh shit, like something's coming. Unless this is gonna be something he's filming that's gonna be on the screen, on stage or something. So he confirmed it himself. But yeah, so that performance happened, and like people were kind of upset because it was a very lazy performance as opposed to what we saw in the past. And people were kind of like saying, oh, like this is his first performance since his brother had passed previously. He's been gone for years. Like maybe it's difficult for him, especially some of the songs that he wrote about. So it's probably like his close to home. Who knows? But because he was an hour late, he passed curfew for Coachella, and they had to cut his set short, so he didn't even get to finish. Then supposedly after that, I don't know if this happened before his performance or after his performance of the first weekend, he like fractured his ankle or his knee or something. Supposedly,
he took out the skate park.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be like he had dancers that were going to be ice skating, but then they basically scrapped that, so they had to like forget that routine and just like dance or something.
Very demanding.
Yeah, I mean, Frank having his Kanye West moment, but which I really hope doesn't happen. Like, I hope this is not what it's turning into, because I've already lost so many people that I'm just like, oh, like I would love to meet them one day, Now it's just like after Kanye did, it's like it's a liability to take a picture with you.
Exactly.
I can't. I don't know what's gonna come out
If
your
I
mouth.
take it, it has to be in super lockdown. Like nobody has to know I
It's
took
gonna
this
stay right here. I'm gonna keep it on me. One
Right.
copy.
If there's an apocalypse, yeah, it might show up, but other than that, I'm never taking this out.
So yeah. So I really hope it's just like a one-off thing, or like it was just a rough day for him. But yeah, supposedly he fractured his knee or something. And he said like I can't perform weekend 2. So they bumped up like another. I believe Blink 182 ended up being the
I
headliner.
remember hearing that, yeah.
Which is kind of dumb because it's like I expected him to cancel weekend 2 after the response from weekend 1 because like he did a, to be honest, a shitty job. I love Frank. He's like one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite. But he did a shitty job. And he also said last minute to not stream his performance,
I think I remember hearing that too.
which pissed a lot of people off because like what the fuck. So that was another part of it.
I'm just thinking like, how do you do that though?
Yeah.
He just look, I get him.
Oh no, I mean people were still like on their phones, but like the whole weekend of Coachella was being streamed on YouTube. So people were able to watch it like on the Coachella YouTube channel,
Okay.
the entire thing. So he was like, I don't want mine to be live streamed. Which in my head, I was like, oh, like maybe because he's doing new music, or he wants the people that paid to actually like let it be an experience for them. You know, they put a lot of effort and time to be out there.
I got you.
But yeah, that happened. I thought, because supposedly when those rumors were circulating of like why he canceled everything, why everything got pushed back, that the people who ran Coachella were like really pissed at him and like the relationship was like kind of rocky right now. So I was like, he's not doing weekend 2. Like there's no way after the first one. But then he says like that whole, he stepped down because of his whole knee fracture thing. But I'm just like, Frank, you don't dance. You don't do any of that.
I mean, you just got to stand there.
Somebody you could have came out like with us on crutches, sat on the piano and just did your whole set from there.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody would have been upset. Like that's how he usually performs in general, or sit in a chair and just perform. Like there were other artists at Coachella who were like already fucked up and still like were able to perform. So I'm just like, I think it was just more of a cop out because of what, one, the backlash of the performance, and 2, Coachella being like, we not with your bullshit, bro.
Yeah, he probably just realized it wasn't worth it, you know, to have to wait a whole nother week to then just, you know, it just, you might as well just cut your losses while you're already ahead.
And if he were to have another bad performance the second weekend, he might have gotten booed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess on his part is the marketing team was like, yeah, bro, you can't do this.
Yeah. So to be honest, whenever stuff like that happens, I usually just stay off of social media. Like even with the fight, I was just like, I don't even want to hop on Instagram or not, because you're gonna see people have their dumbass opinions.
Bro, I hate
people are gonna all post this watch party that they're all having at their house, or just
I never go on social media whenever
for any mainstream event where everybody's gonna be like dick riding on. I can't.
Yeah.
So same thing with Coachella. So I was like, I don't want to see any of this slander right now. I just want to go listen to Blonde in peace. Like, leave me alone. I was like, I can't be mad at this man. He made Channel Orange and Blonde. You know how much a big part of our childhood that those albums were?
What's crazy is how like Blonde came out so much farther after. And
it was like a 7-8 year gap.
But what's crazy is that it doesn't feel like that, because now the distance from Blonde till now
is literally the same amount as what we waited for that one. He's about to drop again.
Exactly. And I feel like it's so crazy because when Blonde came out, we were still pretty young, you know, but it's so crazy to think that that's actually like the time we waited for it, you know?
Yeah, so it's about that time. His clock.
His alarm finally went off.
Yeah,
he said it for 7 years later.
Oh shit, I'm late.
He's like, fuck, damn, I totally forgot about this. All right, guys, get back in the studio.
But I mean, and he started like his whole jewelry thing at one point, like home, something like that.
I don't know.
And he like, I don't know if you knew about that. And he had
I feel like I might have saw it, but
he had like a cock ring that's like made out of pure diamonds, or like green diamonds or something like that.
All right.
It was a whole thing, you know how artists be, bro.
All right, I'm gonna put my order in tonight.
My thing is like, what is that doing?
I don't know, because
nobody sees that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, does it give me some type of confidence? Am I getting some type of, vitamin C? Is it going into my body? Like, because no one else is seeing it unless I'm taking it off, my pants off, and I don't think that's happening. So
I feel like that's gonna do the same thing as one that you could find at a sex shop or something that's made out of rubber or whatever, elastic or whatever they're usually made out of. It's gonna achieve the same thing, and I don't think having something encrusted in diamonds is gonna really help if you're gonna use the ring for what it's intended for. You know what I mean?
True.
think it's just a weird flex.
Is it like a one size fits all? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Or is it like, does it open? You gotta, because that sounds kind of painful.
yeah, I don't know. He probably went really into detail with it. So
Yeah, I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. It was like, guys, come on, I've been in this business.
Yeah, that's just a whole other level of like money that we just don't have.
Yeah, true. It's just thrilling to invest into something like that, you know. Hey,
And even if I did, I wouldn't spend it on that anyway. Like that's
yeah,
what.
I wouldn't.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like I would like to think no, but I've never been in this position to be like, yo, I have so much fucking money.
To just literally look at something and be like, why not?
Yeah. But I feel like my used to knowing what being broke is would be like, no, bro, like don't buy that.
Yeah, I think.
But then
yeah.
But then you see Lil Uzi, who's like clearly like from Philly like us as well, and like I don't think he had money like that or anything. Like he was probably just as similar as us, and he just ends up putting a freaking Chaos Emerald in his middle of his forehead. Like,
Yeah, you see, but that's a little bit different. I really think you have to have a type of like mindset beforehand. Like, I feel like that goes different with the way as far as like growing up, as far as like with money and then getting it, because like me and you, I just feel like we wouldn't want to do something like that to our bodies.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like, yeah, I can see something like that ring and be like, okay, I want to buy it. But it's not really like, to me, like I can choose to not put something like that on my body. And I just feel like I wouldn't want that to be on my body, you know? Like,
yeah,
the same thing goes with like tattoos. Like you see people who put a bunch of tattoos on them as far as face and all that. And I'm like, I just don't want to do that. You know, even if I have the money and I can get my whole body tatted,
yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Just because I can doesn't mean that I should.
Exactly. I'm not going to do it. Also, as far as buying like 15 cars, like,
Yeah.
don't need 15 cars.
Like I get you could probably have like a handful, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I'll
like
probably most I'll have is probably like 5. If
Yeah.
I was rich, I'll probably say I'll probably have max like 5
you
cars.
got your personal one. You got one that like if you're gonna bring a lot of people, you know, you can have a bigger car.
I have that Ford F-150.
Yeah. yeah. So,
The bag's gonna be dropped out. We're gonna put everybody in there.
but yeah,
I'm gonna have the Cybertruck.
oh,
Pull over
forgot
the
about that shit.
Cybertruck, bro. That shit gonna be crazy.
yo, he's ruining Twitter, bro.
Yeah,
Like he's
the whole
doing
blue check, John, is
so many
crazy.
changes.
Yeah,
And
I
like,
don't get why either. I mean, I remember I saw a picture, where it was like before Elon, you know, took over Twitter, and then after, and
Mhm.
before was like kind of, as far as like there was some guys, there was women, all that, and then the after was literally just a bunch of guys, and they were
Mhm.
like, I can't believe this man really just hired a bunch of like Discord, you know,
Mods.
mods and then made them basically the like, you know, controller of Twitter. I was like,
yeah, bro. And like I notice it way more because I literally have to be on it for work every day. So I'm just like, it'll be one day, like something I do the day before I can't do the next day. And I'm just like, why? Like, this is so pointless. But meanwhile, Twitter spaces and all that dumb shit is still there that nobody uses to my knowledge, at least. Like, who sits in a Twitter space all day?
bro, that's what phones are for. Like, that's what literally just calling, group chat, Zoom, you know, like all that stuff was already made before. It's just added, it's just pointless, you know. I don't know. Maybe there is this group of people who literally only live by social media to the point where they have to use that to talk to. I
Yeah.
don't know, but that's
now-
not me.
And now Instagram has something similar now. Like, if you go to like your DMs and you swipe up, there's like groups or like, I don't know what it,
I think, you know, yeah.
you like, you can search for groups to be in or shit like that. It's like, can we just post and like, I don't know. Maybe we're old.
I think it's one, we're old and we're getting to the point where change is very scary.
I'm not even scared. I just think like I just don't see the use in the change. I
you're
don't see the
right.
use in the changes that they're making.
No, you're right. But that's where I think it gets to the point where we have to realize that we did grow up with a lot of these apps and stuff like that, like when it first started. So I guess to see where it's going to now is just kind of annoying us because we're realizing like we were perfectly fine with what we had
Yeah.
before. And I feel like now it's getting to the point where it's almost like the iPhone, where there's literally no difference, just a little bit faster and the camera's going to change.
Right.
And that's where I feel like it's getting it where social media apps, where it's like there's nothing else they can do as far as change it except little tweaks like that.
They could. It's just they're so set on like constantly just pushing them. Like you can make a change, but you don't have to like they're just changing shit just to change shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's what I mean.
Like big jumps. Like if you think about like Instagram Live, it's like, yo, that's huge. Like people use that. Like that was a cool feature.
Yeah.
And then like now it's like, oh, you can buy shit on Instagram too, like directly in Instagram. People have shops, or now you can subscribe to Instagram pages like it's fucking OnlyFans. It's like, yeah, that's cool for like creators, but like for the general people that use it, like they don't get, like, can you just have our shit back in chronological order again?
Bro,
They made that change like 4 years ago, and they have yet to revert it back.
What
the like chronological order? Like,
yeah.
Like if you posted 2 minutes ago, I might not see it.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes I get posted for like 3
days ago.
And I'm like, wow.
And that's the shit that was like, I'll be scrolling and it'll be something like maybe even some like sports or something like, and it'll be like a news page that I follow, and they'll be like, oh, like such and such, and this just happened. I'm like, this is so old. And I read the thing, it's like 3 days ago.
You know what's crazy is that I realize they don't do it anymore. And I don't know if they don't do it or maybe I just don't scroll enough. But I remember before it used to be a thing where if you got to a point where you already got to where
they were like, oh, you're all caught up.
And I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. You know, I'm fine. But now they just kind of make it where you just keep going and you just see a bunch of stuff that it's like you don't follow, but maybe you looked at it. So now it's all just like, oh, related to this. So it's bringing you to a bunch of pages and stuff that you basically kind of somewhat looked at, or maybe you liked it. And now that's it. You're going to see it for the rest of your life. It's not going away now.
Yeah. And Twitter, the same thing. Like now there's like a For You for Twitter.
Bro, I got these notifications about, oh, subscribe to this guy to get more info. I'm like, bro, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Right. Like, who are you?
Why do I just want to see funny tweets, bro. Like whenever I just want to, whenever there's a very major event happening, I just want to hop on Twitter and see everybody make funny jokes about it.
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
Now I got to try to subscribe to you for what? So what can you say that is going to make me want to spend like $3 every month on you? What could you possibly say? You're not the president, so and I don't even want to listen to him. So so please tell me, what do you have to offer?
Yeah, I just saw something earlier. I think I was like waiting for you to come out. It was like a tweet or a screenshot like Elon posted of like how many subscribers he has, and he's making like 250,000 a month just on like subscribers on Twitter subscribers. For I don't even like, what does that even like? Do you see, like, does he tweet on a separate feed that you get to see? Like, what does that even do?
So I'm saying, what are the benefits? You know,
who knows?
Like, oh, you get to see my tweets 10 seconds faster before anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't know. Look, again, it all comes with the idea, I feel like, to me, where it's like, again, you have the money. This man has the money, and he decided to be the owner of this company, so he can just literally do whatever he wants. And if people don't like it, we got to just suck it up, because it literally is all like he could do whatever he wants. Everybody could say, oh, this sucks, but he knows, like, okay, this is Twitter. What are y'all gonna do? I dare y'all to leave. Oh, that's right, y'all not. So it's like, that's where it's like I get annoyed because of that, because it's like, damn, you're right. I'm not gonna leave, but I still fucking hate this. Like,
at the end of the day, all this stemmed down to, there was one point somebody sent it out and somebody said Twitter shouldn't be free. I can't believe Twitter's free. Da 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 da. Now it's not free. Now part of it is not free. Now you have to pay for certain parts of it, and it's all dumb, and I don't like it.
Bro, not even Twitter. It's with a lot of stuff. Even when you see with gaming, anything that's free now that you see that you can play for free, bro, you're gonna get hit with so much shit that you have to buy once you get in that game, because that's all it is after that.
I don't know, man. But still appreciate you guys, you know, who don't change and never really lets us down. YouTube been the same formula for years for the most part. All they added was shorts. And here we are.
Shorts and
I love shorts, because shorts got us at 1,250 subscribers.
True.
Before that, we was slowly growing. Now more people seeing us, more people like, yo, y'all gonna be big one day, keep it going. We appreciate you guys leaving those comments all the time. I like it, brings light to my heart. I send them to Mark sometimes. He's like, I love to see this. And it just be complete strangers being like, yo, like, you guys are genuinely funny. And I can tell that the videos and the stuff you guys post is genuinely just what you guys want to post. And you guys are genuinely laughing and having fun. It's not forced laughter at all. Because when we be playing GTA, we be laughing our asses off.
Well, I'm not going to lie, yo. Just the other day when after I told you that I had no more storage, I went back to some of the videos and I saw your POV again on GTA, and I just went back to the point where we were driving and I got hit. We were on the bike and I got hit by the cop car.
Uh-huh.
I tried to hit him and someone hit me and I was like, ah! Yo, that shit made me cry, bro. Oh my God, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen because my mic really cut out right there and I was dying. Oh yeah.
Hilarious. I love it. We gotta hop back on there, but we short on time. We gotta hop up out of here. So thank you guys for the love. All our information, if you want to keep track of us, is in our description. For myself, Mark, or everything for ETC. We're gonna keep pushing. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, which is amazing to see. We're on our way to 1 million views on our channel, Mark. We're like at 600,000 right now, but I feel like by the end of this year we're gonna be at 1 million, no problem.
Yeah.
Probably be there by like September-ish if we play our cards right. I hope. And yeah, it's gonna be a big year for us. We just keep as long as we've been doing this, we continue to build upon what we did in the previous year, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
So
even if it was the smallest jump and now it's like a big jump, but we can't stop. We got to keep doing it because it's only going to get better. So
it's gonna keep snowballing. But love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.